Hi, I'm Kiara Liz Rivera, and I'm here at the K-12 Art Expo at Durfee High School, where every school in our city is being represented.
We have all 16 schools represented. We try to get as close to the 10,000 students represented as we possibly can. And every single K through 8 student should be represented somewhere in here if they put student work into the art show.
So Gavin, tell me a little bit about your art project.
So my art project is kind of random, and that kind of represents how I feel a lot of the time. Because sometimes I'll just change how I feel randomly, and it kind of just inspired me to make this piece of art.
I liked it because it was a raccoon and it was in a tree like at nighttime, and there was like different colors all around it.
My artwork was an assignment by my teacher, Mrs. Pereira. She had us pose some just random poses, and we had to make a painting out of it with shadows and stuff. And I decided to add a wall to separate the two characters, so there's like a difference between their poses and the background.
So teachers from all of the schools work with our kids to get their work ready for exposition. So they submit work and they say, hey, this is ready for the show. The teacher helps them label it, which is actually part of our National Core Art Standards, getting student work ready for exhibition. And then teachers put that work on this craft paper, roll it up, bring it here the day of, and unbelievably enough, this entire Arts Expo was put together in 4 hours.
So tell me a little bit about your art pieces.
My art all kind of sprung from the same concept, and that is that life is long. So this one was inspired by my mom in how she always talked to me about her loss of her brother, who I never got to meet, my Titi Steve, and she always talks about how she misses him and how she never really got the chance to grieve, and how she almost feels like he's on vacation, and that really inspired me and that touched me because I never got to meet him, and then I wanted to make a piece all about grief. And this one is more on the simple side. It's just highlighting everyday things that don't really get mentioned or talked about, so that's what this one is. And then this one down here, even though it looks like domestic abuse, it's talking about hiding the darker parts of yourself and refusing to see them, and someone forcing that out of you.
So all of these pieces were different assignments in class, and they all stem from the same question, which I developed was about self-reflection and emotion in my life. And so the first one up here, which is called Empty, I represented it through the use of acrylics and actual bone. And so from Empty comes from this gap right here within the canvas that I layered on top. And so this bear is actually offering oneself and taking out a piece of himself to give to everyone else, and that is why I called it Empty. And the narrative of this piece is there was actually 3 vertebrae on his hand, and I'm assuming someone took it, which they took the offering that the bear had. And that's why this is one of my favorite pieces. And moving on to the second piece, this one is called Promises. And through this one, I represented the standards that people have in life between heaven and hell, and the religion itself, and the many expectations that people have to live up to, with the many gates representing false heavens or good things that people have to do to achieve their goals, and hell representing a more cool, wavy, icy, kind of relaxing area that people fall back upon. And this one, my third piece, I call this one Fiend 2, whereas this one over here is Fiend 1. This is a continuation of a theme that I put throughout, and this is basically representing the inner monster that we have within ourselves, and the mirror, and looking into that mirror and reflecting on ourselves. And the hand here represents the dissociated connection between our outer selves that we put towards people and the inner selves that we keep hidden.
So this artwork right here is basically realism mixed with fiction and like other like simplified art styles, which shows a realistic style mixed with a cartoon. So this is basically me in reality facing my figment of my imagination. And so this Lambo right here, this is actually a Lambo that I saw near Duncan near the school and I thought it was pretty cool since I like cars. So I decided to take a picture of it and do a little reference and add it into this piece right here. And I also decided to, add a bit of, family members that I know, which is my mom, my brother, and kind of like an alter ego version of myself right here. And yeah.
So tell us a bit about this other artwork. Is there a name for it?
Actually, it has a short name. It's called Graduation. Plain and simple. So this is actually me graduating. My family, my friends cheer me on. And, I thought it would be pretty cool if I added my characters too as well. So this is almost kind of like the same as my other art piece where I combine realism and, fiction all together. But the only difference is this is actually the real me in that imagination.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Arts Expo. I'm Kiara Liz Rivera with Fred TV.